at least he's playing this, you know, the Marios, the Sonics.
Definitely.
You know, he's got a Genesis, he's got a Super Nintendo, he's got an NES.
I kind of worry about gamers losing sight of this heritage, and I do think actually now that the gaming generation is growing up to produce children and kind of spawning the next generation, one kind of wake-up call to me, you're familiar with Edge magazine, no doubt, and I subscribe, of course, and I check it out. And there was a replay section, or you know, they kind of go back in time and talk to a developer about the making of a game. In fact, it was the making of. And it was Knights of the Old Republic, which is an RPG for the Xbox, turn-based. Anyway, they talked to these guys at BioWare firsthand about other game engines that they had been working with prior to that game that they were using as prototype stuff.
Yeah.
They mentioned MDK2, one of my all-time favorite Dreamcast games, period.
Oh, yeah. Excellent.
Phenomenal. The problem I found with it, and this really kind of this kind of concerns me still. I might still write them. Is speaking directly to BioWare, Edge, the Bible for most gamers, at least that side of the Atlantic. They mentioned that their first work on a console, directly working with a console, was MDK2 Armageddon. Now, the problem with this oversight, in my opinion, is A, you're talking to the sources, how did you get that wrong? It was clearly not MDK2 Armageddon, but rather MDK2, and in denying the first, you're denying the Dreamcast, which just 2 episodes or issues before, they had just done a review of Karus, right? The shooter, which I picked up in here. That was my last time here. They reviewed it. And before that, they had kind of this preamble saying, you know, in order to review the game, they drug the Dreamcast out from underneath the couch or wherever the hell it was, dusty. And then a number of people stopped by the office as the dude was playing it and just kind of got really teary-eyed about the value of the Dreamcast and all that. So that's issue like 7 or whatever. Come issue 11, they totally bypass it.
And completely forget it.
They forget it by mentioning that their first work was on a PS2. Not correct. The disturbing part is 2 cultural entities, sources, if you will, bypass an important era in gaming.
And the Dreamcast was better anyway.
I agree.
It looked better, it played better.
I agree, and it concerns me.
I don't remember if they did MDK1 though.
They didn't. That was Shiny.
Okay, that was. I thought that was somebody else.
Yeah. In fact, it's amazing that the sequel's better because it is.
Oh yeah.
By far. I like the first one. Great game. But I was very and it's really kind of alerted me to the fact that even the people involved, yourself, myself, yourself, there's a third party here just checking the scene out, we might be missing stuff, and it's just human. It's natural to forget things, you know, to misquote things and so on. And I kind of worry about it because as someone who feels the need to Dreamcast till the dying day, you know, it freaks me out to see the sources totally forget it.
Yeah, and totally, you know, miss like an actual fact.
Yeah, an important one to me.
Yeah.
You know, and I wonder if a lot of the people who thumb through the old stuff, perhaps, not that they necessarily need to keep the old culture of it, but do they even understand it? Like, I know that with a lot of the new re-releases, like Panzer Dragoon Orta, comes included with the original Panzer Dragoon. The idea is to kind of give you guys an idea as to why this is a big deal in the first place.
Yeah, why, you know, all the people that should have played it and didn't actually get a chance to. And
I wonder how much that matters anymore. You know,
obviously not much on that game because like 4 people bought it. So.
Yeah, it is sad. Do you find people buying the compilations much, or?
Oh yeah, well they're really big for me.
You like the compilations?
Well, they sell really well for me.
I see.
Because people come in and they see racks of the old stuff.
Sure.
That immediately gets them onto the old game kick.
Okay.
Oh, but look, instead of buying a system and all those games, I can just buy this disc that has 20 of them on there.
Okay. What general? I wonder about this. What age group are these people usually? The ones who buy these compilations?
Oh, just all across the board.
Awesome.
You know, I mean, everywhere, all the way up and down the line. People that played them the first time, people who didn't.
All right.
People that, you know, just, well, there's 20 games on there. I have to like one of them.
Yeah, and it's good value for money.
Yeah,
absolutely.
So yeah, the age group, it's all across the board.
I think that's healthy. That's good. You just got back from Japan, and I've never been. What is? I know that they're really on to the next best thing for the most part, from what I've heard.
Yeah.
Is there a real sense of gaming heritage there? Do you find much old Famicom stuff, or I mean, do you find
you go to the right place? I mean, right now, I mean, the old stuff is really big right now.
Okay.
You know,
specifically Famicom stuff?
Famicom, Super Famicom.
Yeah.
Those are the, you know, just just like over here,
Yeah.
it's Mario and Zelda are driving it.
Right, right.
Yeah. But yeah, I mean, you very quickly learned once you got over there that anything you could want could be had within a reasonable amount of time.
Awesome.
And you will pay dearly for it.
Really?
And it is not cheap.
Really?
You know, you'd go in and see a whole rack of Famicom games,
Yeah.
floor to ceiling.
Wow.
But they start at about $8 to $10
Okay.
and go up from there.
Yeah, right.
You
right.
know, I mean,
high considering.
it's all there,
Yeah.
but it's not necessarily cheap.
Which kind of infers, anyway, that they value
Yeah.
the heritage of it, or at least the
Well, three years ago,
Uh,
they all would have been cheap.
I see. Okay.
It's the retro thing is
Sure.
just really big. As big there as it is here now.
Very nice.
You know, it started over there.
Yeah. Yeah.
Took a year or two to
Right.
make its way over here.
Fair enough.
You know, it's a good example. A buddy of mine, first time, you know, that's been living in Japan for like 4 years.
Uh-huh.
Last time
That's
he
awesome.
came back over here, he bought Super Famicom games from me.
Huh. Because they were just better value.
Yeah, because they were cheaper over
Yeah.
here than you could get them in Japan.
That's weird. That's funny.
And that's just because, you know, their retro market has been really big
Yeah.
before ours, and now the U.S. market's really exploded with the old stuff.
Definitely. Definitely. Gamers, I don't know if this still holds. I speak to a lot of my gamer friends, and I've never considered gamers geeks. I've never considered gaming a geeky pastime, any more so than being, you know, huge music fans or movie buffs or book readers.
Yeah.
But I know a lot of people have looked to games and gamers as very geeky. A little geeky enclave and kind of tacked on to the rest of culture.
Yeah.
Now, of course, it's spreading everywhere. Do you find rather that I mean, not like that you can really, I mean, it's not an overt feeling, but do you get a sense that gamer self-esteem has changed at all? I know that's really nebulous.
Yeah, but it has. I mean, I think, you know, it's become okay
yeah,
to
right.
like games.
It's been legitimized.
Yeah. I mean, when I was in high school,
Mm-hmm.
no, you didn't play games. It's like,
Right,
no,
right.
that's like for kids.
Yeah, my 15-year-old. When I was 15, my girlfriend was like, "You still play those?"
Yeah, exactly.
You know, I'm
And it's
28,
just-
and it's just like, yeah, kind of.
Yeah, exactly. And it's the time. I mean, it was
Yeah.
something little kids did.
Yeah,
Older kids didn't do it.
yeah, yeah.
They thought you were crazy, you know. And now that's not the case. Now adults play. I mean, I've got everything from 6 years old to grandparents.
Really, you wow,
Yeah.
that's awesome.
I've got at least a handful of people in. There's one old guy that comes in here. God, he probably got to be 80.
Wow,
And you know, and it comes in. It's like, okay, what's he going to be buying for the grandkids?
youngsters, right, right.
And you know, do you have Dragon Quest 8?
Yeah, that's not a youngster game.
You know, he's like,
It
oh,
could
I
be.
just, you know, I've loved all the other ones, and you know, I had to get 8, and you know, I just finished Final Fantasy 10 and really didn't like that. And
Wow.
no, he's
Yeah.
big into it as any of the rest of us, and
Wow.
you know,
That's cool.
and you know, so that was kind of one of those. Okay, you just can't judge a book by its cover.
Right.
You know,
Yeah.
always ask them what they want before you make any assumptions.